Hello everyone, this is Prem Sodani coming up with the next round of our editorial decoded session, and in this session we are going to decode one of the most important editorial, that is about APSPA. APSPA Act passed its expiry date. This is the editorial which appeared in The Hindu. This is the editorial. So what we are going to discuss in this session, we are going to discuss what was the origin of this APSPA, what are the provisions of APSPA, why it should be repealed, what are the problems which are associated with the provisions of APSPA, why it cannot be repealed, and what are the recommendations of various constitutional bodies appointed to review the provisions of APSPA. And in the last we will discuss about the way forward, what things can be done instead of APSPA, or instead of repealing this APSPA altogether, what are the other things which we can do, right? So let's get started with the editorial. So the first thing is what is the origin of this APSPA? The APSPA has the colonial, we had this colonial legacy. This was first used by the Britishers in Quit India movement of 1942 against the Indians, and the main aim was to curb the dissent, curb the insurgency especially. And later we also incorporated this act in our Free India also. Now the question comes here is why we incorporated this provision if it is so draconian, right? So it was the period of just after the independence. We were at the very nascent stage of nation, right? Nation building was in very nascent state. So we were not even aware of our boundaries, our periphery, and this was why we needed this type of the act. And we also wanted to curb the insurgency, especially in these difficult circumstances, right? So this was the aim. Now what all about the what are the provisions of this APSPA Act, and why these provisions are so disturbing in nature, right? We are going to discuss that in detail. If we talk about APSPA, that is Armed Forces Special Power Act, that came in 1958, there are some provisions. The provision of section 3, it talks about the disturbed areas. Disturbed areas are the areas where some kind of disturbances are there. The region can be communal, the region can be ethnical, region can be tribal diversity, anything, right? But these are disturbed areas. Now what about these disturbed areas? So in these disturbed areas, law and order is the problem. So in order to bring law and order conditions, or in order to restore these conditions back, army is required with civil administration. Army plus civil administration would be there in these areas, right? Now it means what? It means now army is to be deployed in these areas to control the law and order problem. Okay, so who is the authority which can deploy the army? The question is, that is the central government or governor of that state, or administrator of union territory. They can also deploy the army, right? Now what is the work of that army? To restore the control back with the civil administration. This is the provision of this APSPA. Now Armed Forces Special Powers, it means this act gives special powers to the army personnel. And what are these special powers for army personnel? Let me discuss here. If we talk about the army, special powers of army, right? The first special power is, if somebody or gathering of 5 people, gathering of 5 or more people is not allowed. The second thing is, they can search, they can seize any premise, right? They can search, seize any premise, they can arrest also to the suspects, right? And they can even open fire if any suspicious person is there, or the laws of that area are not being followed. So they can also open fire. And the most important thing is, if that open fire amounts to the death also of somebody or of many people, so they cannot be questioned. A kind of legal impunity is provided to the army personals. Means you cannot sue these army personals in the court of the law. You need the permission of central government, and which is generally denied, right? So these are the special powers provided to the army personals. Means gathering of 5 people is not allowed, search, seizure and arrest without having any warrant, right? They can open fire even if it amounts to the death of anybody, that is okay, and legal impunity is also provided to them. These are the provisions, these are the powers of the army. Now the question is, are these powers unlimited or there are any safety nets? So safety nets are also there. Let me discuss here about the safety net. For example, if they are to open fire, then they first have to issue the warning to the person or the people those are going to be open fired upon, right? So the safety net is, let me discuss here about the safety provisions, that is the warning before open firing, right? Warning before the open firing. The second safety net is they have to work with civil administration and not as an independent agency, right? So this is the second safety net, that is they had to work along with the civil administration and not as an independent authority or independent agency, right? The third thing is, if they apprehend somebody or if the suspicious person is arrested by them, they need to hand that person over to the local police within a period of 24 hours, right? So these are some safety nets which are available against the army's power, right? The first one is warning before open firing. The second one was to submit the person arrested to the local police within the period of 24 hours, and the they had to work in aid with the civil administration and not as an independent agency. Now these are the we have discussed about the provisions and the safety nets. Now the question is, why this AFSPA provisions are required in these areas. So let me discuss all these things here in this slide, that is why army is required. Why army is required? The first thing is, why army is required? Because law and order is the problem, and that cannot be restored by the local police, and local police is not in that capacity to restore the conditions of law and order, and now the help of army is required. The first thing is that the problem of law and order requires the army, right? This is the one thing. The second thing is, we can say these are generally the bordering areas, and in bordering areas the problems of these law and orders can only be tackled with the help of the army. That is also the thing. The third thing, we can say the police capability, means they have their own limited capabilities, so the army is also required in these disturbed areas, right? So these are the regions. And the fourth reason, we can say there could be many divisions in the society. It becomes difficult for the police also to bring the law and order conditions back with these many divisions in the society, and this is the case in northeastern areas where this problem exists, right? So these are the reasons why army is required, because there is a law and order problem that cannot be tackled by the local administration. The second is they are bordering areas. The third is police capability are very limited. The fourth is the divisions in the society, and the fifth, we can say the insurgent groups are the part of that society also, right? Means they are very local in nature, they cannot be tackled by the local police, and they need the armies, the civil administration need the support of the army. So these are the reasons, we can say yes, the army's deployment is required in these areas. Now the question comes here, why these AFSPA should be, the provisions of the AFSPA or the Act AFSPA itself should be repealed? Because you might have seen this failure of intelligence in the Mon district operation of army. Right now we discussed also that thing as an editorial discussion of monumental failure, so you can see that video also. So we are not going to discuss that thing in detail. What we are going to discuss here is what are the reasons why these AFSPA provisions are disturbing in nature. Let me discuss here one by one. The first thing is why AFSPA should be repealed. The first thing is the constitutionality of this act. as law and order is the state subject, law and order is the state subject. So now you have seen in the section 3, this is the central government which can also declare any area as a disturbed area, and that is going to be the disturbed area for the period of 3 months, next 3 months, right? So this is the central government which can interfere into the matters of state government, that is in the matters of law and order. The first thing is about its constitutionality. Although this constitutionality question was resolved by the Supreme Court, we will discuss that thing also, but earlier this was also the question that why central government is interfering, right? The second most disturbing thing is the misuse of provisions, misuse of the provisions of AFSPA, right? So we have right now only seen that in the Mon district we have seen it was not only intelligence failure, but also here the allegation on army person was they have not shared their information of intelligence with the local administration, and in the safety net I discussed about that thing, they had to work with the with the cooperation of civil administration, but they were not following that one. And we can say that misuse of AFSPA provisions is the point where all the these voices are raised against this AFSPA. And here you can also remember one important commission's report, committee's report, that is Justice Verma Committee report. Justice Verma Committee report, and under this Justice Verma Committee report, Justice Verma said because of the legal impunity, these provisions of AFSPA are actually legalizing the sexual abuses on the women, especially in these areas, right? So you can remember that one also. This is Justice Verma's report that says the legal impunity to the army persons are actually amounting to the violence against the women, sexual violence against the women. That was the recommendation, and it should be repealed according to the Justice Verma Committee. Now this is the misuse of the power. We have seen this constitutionality, and the third is, we can say because we are using army against our own people that is otherwise supposed to be used against the foreign enemies. So this is the third thing we can say, we are actually using our enemy against our own people, right? So this is the next provision. The fourth thing is, it is now becoming a political tool also, because central and state tussles will always be there, and this is also a question mark on the federalism principle also. So you can remember these big issues. First is constitutionality provision, misuse of AFSPA. You can say enemy, we are not using our army against enemy, but we are using that army against our own people. The fourth is political tool. The fifth we can say, according to the need, we are not even repealing the AFSPA provisions from these areas, right? If you go by these Nagaland area, there you might see only NSCN group that is active over there. Let me discuss that point also. If we talk about the Nagaland, so there are two insurgent group, that is NSCN, that is one is IM, and the other one is this is Isaac Mohiwa, and that is NSCN, that is Khaplang. This is now Myanmar based organization, that is in Myanmar. So all the insurgent groups, almost all the insurgent groups are in talking terms with government of India. They are going to follow the ceasefire agreement of 1997 also. So why this AFSPA provision should not be repealed, right? They should be repealed if the conditions are coming back to the normal. So this is other provision where we are not going to repeal these provisions even after the conditions of normalcy, right? So this is the next provision. Now we come to the next part of our discussion, that is what various committees or the commissions have recommended about this AFSPA. Let me discuss here one by one. The first thing which we are going to discuss about, that was Justice Jeevan Reddy Commission, Jeevan Reddy Committee. So what this committee says, according to its recommendation that AFSPA should be repealed, this was the first recommendation, and they recognize that yes, army needs some special powers in these disturbed areas, and for that we can provide them some of the special powers under Unlawful Activities Prevention Act of 1967. We can incorporate some of the provisions under this act, and we can provide them some of the special powers under this act, right? But AFSPA should be repealed. The next thing it said, like there should be a grievances committee in each district wherever the army is working or the army is stationed in these areas, right? So this was the recommendation by Jeevan Reddy committee. The next committee was Santosh Hegde committee. Santosh Hegde committee on the extrajudicial killings under AFSPA Act of 2013 it was formed, and they also, this committee also recommended that AFSPA is not that much fruitful, especially restoring the normalcy in Manipur, and under this they also recommended to repeal the AFSPA provision, right? So this was the second. Third, we discussed about the Justice Verma committee. They also recommended to repeal the AFSPA provisions because it amounts to the sexual violence in these areas. That was the recommendation of Justice Verma committee. And the last, you can also remember that one, that is Second Administrative Reform Commission. Its fifth report on public order. This is fifth report on public order. They also recommended to repeal the AFSPA provision, right? So these are the four important recommendations. You can balance your answer why it should be repealed. These are the solutions. And next, if we discuss about the Supreme Court's stance, the stance of Supreme Court in especially the Naga people for human rights versus Union of India case of 1997. In this case, Supreme Court said that constitutional validity is, this AFSPA is constitutionally valid one, right? Valid one. The only thing is the army has to work in the, to aid with the civil administration. They have to help the civil administration and should not act as an independent agency. And the other thing Supreme Court said here, that in every 6 months, the conditions of the AFSPA provision should be reviewed, right? So this was the stance of Supreme Court in this case, that of 1997, right? So these were the various committees and Supreme Court's stance on this AFSPA provision. Now if we talk about what you need to write is, you cannot write like, it should be repealed immediately. That can be repealed in a phased manner in order to, curbing the insurgency. That is very much required. The second thing that you can write here in your answer is that the need to use principle to be applied here, right? So if we talk about the need to use principle should be applied, especially wherever the need of this AFSPA provisions are there you can use the provisions of the AFSPA, but wherever the conditions are restoring back to its normal positions or the insurgency is decreasing at a faster rate, these AFSPA provisions can be repealed or can be uplifted. So this was all about this discussion. I hope you might have got some understanding of this AFSPA provisions. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any doubt or you have any suggestion, you can comment that down in comment section. Thank you very much.
Current Affairs by Forum IAS is an all-in-one program that covers the dynamic aspect of the syllabus from both prelims and mains perspectives. Last year, we have helped more than 100 students crack IAS with our current affairs classes.